Baroness Jones of Moulsecoomb.
I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
My Lords, as part of its terms of reference, the Undercover Policing Inquiry is investigating the state of awareness of undercover police operations of Her Majesty's Government since 1968. The Home Office is a core participant in that inquiry and is in the process of making disclosure to the inquiry of material relevant to the terms of reference. The inquiry will report on its findings once all evidence has been reviewed.
Yeah, well, I thank the noble lady for her response, which of course is not an answer to my question. I'm not sure if she is actually aware that over a period of 24 years, from 1985 to 2009, almost every single year, there was a state-sponsored sexual relationship between a police officer and a woman who at no point was accused of doing anything illegal, not arrested, not accused. I just don't understand how the Minister can sit there and think that this is all right. This strikes at the heart of the ethics and the integrity of our police forces and of course, our security services. And I must stress that the cases we know about are the only ones we've heard about because those are the only police names in the public realm. We don't know all of them. Until we know all of the police undercover names, we won't know how many victims there were. So I'm also concerned about the inquiry because, of course, the Minister may know that there was a walkout today by the whole legal team of the women involved and the women themselves. So how is the government going to restore the credibility of that inquiry?
Well, the noble lady refers to state-sponsored, and I would refer her to the actual terms of reference of the inquiry, which is to ascertain the state of awareness of undercover police operations of Her Majesty's Government. That is precisely what the inquiry was set up to do. And in terms of the walkout of today, I have been made aware of that walkout, and I am aware that the hearings are still ongoing. And I'd encourage all core participants, indeed anyone impacted by undercover policing, to participate fully in the inquiry so that we can learn the lessons and get to the truth.
So, can the noble lady confirm this is a very serious matter, that notwithstanding anything that comes out of the inquiry, any recommendations that follow, that she's absolutely confident that robust procedures are now in place and it could never happen again?
Well, my Lords, I'd love to stand at this dispatch box and say that certain things could never happen again, but nobody can legislate for the odd rogue undertaking or a malicious intent of people, and therefore one cannot be absolutely certain that it never happened again. What one can do is put measures in place to try and mitigate as far as is possible that it never happens again.
Does the noble Minister agree with me that that undercover policing is an essential tool in the fight against terrorism and crime, and providing it's properly regulated and standards are adhered to, then we shouldn't judge the majority of very brave police officers that go undercover by the misdeeds of a few?
Well, I must completely concur with the noble lord. He's absolutely right. So much crime has been unearthed by the use of undercover policing. As I say, there are now strict rules in place to mitigate unacceptable behaviour from going on, and I couldn't agree more with him.
My Lords, isn't one of the...
Grateful. We know that this inquiry has already taken 3 years, and it's expected to take another year before the victims get answers. Campaigners walking out in protest today, notwithstanding. And we know that the Special Demonstration Squad has been disbanded, but it would be naive to think that all embedded undercover work has ceased. So what assurances can the Minister give that the culture, practice, instructions to and supervision of undercover officers has already changed to ensure that, as far as is humanly possible, no man or woman will ever be subjected to these practices again?
Well, the noble lady makes a very helpful point, because the Policing Code of Ethics makes clear that police officers should not use their professional position to establish or pursue a sexual or improper emotional relationship with a person with whom you come into contact in the course of your work. The Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act of 2000 provides a legal framework for the lawful deployment of undercover officers as covert human intelligence sources, and we also have the 2014 CHIS codes of practice. In relation to the point that she makes about the length of time that the inquiry is taken, the slight extension to that, the length of the inquiry, is due to purely the sheer numbers of pieces of information that the inquiry has to look at.
My Lords, I understand that the walkout from the inquiry was because of a sense that it was important that the individual police officers were actually identified by name. I think my noble friend the Minister would confirm that, by definition, undercover police officers have a cover name, and that whatever the importance of getting to the bottom of what went on in this inquiry, it is important that they retain that anonymity, because that's a preeminent part of what they do.
Well, my noble friend is absolutely right, and of course it protects the safety of those people as well.
So confirm, this is not just a matter of rules and regulations. If it went on for so long, there must have been a serious management failure. Because if there is a relationship between a senior officer and the person doing the job, that relationship is crucial in terms of keeping a check on the behaviour. And that seems to me, as an outsider, not to have happened. And it's what we ought to focus on.
Well, I wouldn't like to speak for the chair of the inquiry, but I am sure that some of the institutional failures that happened way back in the day will be what the inquiry looks at.
The walkout today, the walkout today, the leading QC who was representing the victims said that the walkout was due to the legal teams cannot participate in a meaningful way. How have we got to a position where this has been going on for 3 years, cost £9 million, and senior QCs feel they can't participate in a meaningful way?
Well, my lords, the people who walked out will have their reasons for walking out, but I know that the Home Secretary has full confidence in the chairman to carry out the inquiry in a way that gets to the truth of what happened.